Hey, what's going on, guys? John Shea here from the No Shame Income blog. And I know it's been a little while since I posted the last video, but I wanted to do something a little bit different for today's video. And I want to talk about why I no longer post income reports on my blog. So this is something that's a really cool topic, and we're going to dive into that today. But before we do that, be sure to throw me a thumbs up on the video. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and be sure to hit that bell notification, as I'm going to be releasing new videos each and every month. So let's dive into today's video. Alright guys, so I'm actually over on my desktop, and the reason I decided to make this video is I recently had someone ask this question on my channel. Was they were like, hey, could you share some insights around everything you're doing to basically make a living online? Now, for those of you who don't know, I've been doing internet marketing since 2012, and I've had quite the journey. In fact, if you go to my blog, I have a really long story. It's literally honestly like a book. It's so long. I went and actually recapped on everything that I've ever done in the space, which really kind of encapsulated a lot of things around just basically having crazy amounts of shiny object syndrome and not really focusing on any one given thing. Now, despite all of this, I was able to get to a point where I was able to bring in enough income from a lot of the things I was working on so I would not have to go back to a day job. And that was really my main goal, right? It wasn't necessarily becoming a millionaire or going out there and making insane amounts of money and driving supercars and doing all this crazy stuff, right? I just really wanted to be in an opportunity where I basically had the freedom of choice to be able to do what I wanted. Now, for me, I thought about a lot of the things that I've been doing over the last few years, and that, was really, for me, it was like, how could I have more free time to do some of the things that I enjoy? So some of those things might be playing video games during the day, maybe going out on a bike ride. We have a brand new bike trail that just got completed right down the street from me. I can literally ride my bike right to it. Being able to go out during the day and maybe eat lunch somewhere without feeling like I'm in oh, I've only got an hour to do this, or I have to go at this hour, whatever it was. I really just wanted that freedom of choice to be able to do anything that I wanted. Yesterday, for example, I actually went to an appointment with my wife because she is now pregnant. We're expecting our first child in April. Congrats me. And I was able to basically not have to ask anybody, right? I just went to a doctor's appointment at 10 a.m. Now, if I had been working a job, I would have been in a position where I would have had to ask for that time off. Like my old job, I was working either 8 a.m. or 9 a.m. and I would have had to be like, hey, I'm gonna have to come in late and blah, 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 and work around somebody else. I did not have to tell a soul. I literally just went and did it. I don't have to worry about it. And that was really what I wanted. I wanted the ability to be able to make those decisions and choose how I get to live my life. So anyway, with all that further ado, for a brief period of time, I was actually consistently posting income reports. If you've looked around at any other internet marketers online, there's actually quite a trend of a lot of people who like to do this. Now, I stopped doing it mid-July 2017, and I want to talk a little bit about some of the pros and cons, and then we'll actually look into some of the more bigger income reports, and maybe I'll shed some light on really how I'm doing now. So I actually started this back in January of 2016, and basically what I did is I made a chart to show how much income that I brought that month and my overall expenses of how much money I spent on actual marketing stuff. So none of those expenses were things like my mortgage or electric bill or gas bill or any of that stuff like food. This was specifically expenses for things that I was doing online with my online business. So what I ended up doing with all of this is I basically kind of followed suit from some of the most successful people that were doing it. And one of my favorite motivators, and I'll pull up his site, that got kind of started with this is Smart Passive Income by Pat Flynn. He's probably one of the biggest people online that's doing a lot of this stuff around the whole income report thing. And his are just absolutely insanely motivational. If you go to them, you can see he's literally making $167,000 in a month, $213,000. He just has a huge audience through his podcast and everything he's doing. So he would basically be detailing these. If you go in and actually look, you could basically get kind of a glimpse of what he had going on. He talks about different things that he's been doing. And if you actually go down through his blog, he would break down all the numbers. So here's all the things I earned from affiliate. I made book sales, course sales. He has niche sites that make money, podcast sponsorships, software, and then he'd break down the expenses. So of course mine does not look quite as nice as this, but I did something pretty similar and I got more or less motivated from what he was doing. So I want to talk about some of the positives of this, and then let's actually look at my most recent one, which was back in July of 2017. So this one I actually kind of reflected on a year of being self-employed, as at the time I was actually doing this, but I did not go self-employed until August of 2016. So not even shortly after that, even my second month in October, I managed to actually have one of my highest earning months, bringing in roughly almost $16,000. And that was 2 months after I'd lost my job. So I was off to a really good start, just getting things moving in this space. And it was a really exciting time. But of course, I have had some issues where I haven't been able to keep it up quite as high. The good thing about all of this, though, is that I actually basically have been able to more or less earn, if not the same or more money than I was previously in any of my salary-based jobs. Now, for most of like the last, like probably from about, I think it was like probably a good span of six years or so, I was actually working for a company doing tech support, and I made about $40,000 a year. So prior to having taxes coming out and all that other stuff, I'd usually be making about, I think it was like roughly $4,000, somewhere in that kind of bracket. I think my take home was about $1,100 after taxes, if I remember correctly. And more or less, I was living with my parents most of that time. And yes, I could have gone out and probably lived in an apartment, paid like $900 to $1,000 and lived on my own. But I definitely would have been living paycheck to paycheck, as every time I would have been getting paid, all of that, like one check would have gone to rent, the other check would have literally just gone to probably food and living expenses. So in my case, you know, I wanted the ability to probably at least be able to bring in that much money, but at the same time have other months where if I did something like I worked extra hard, maybe on weekends, or I had assets that I built up over time, I would continue to make money despite not necessarily working as hard that 1 month, right? So what I ended up doing is basically starting to reflect on all the things I was doing. So let's actually take a look at that month. Let's see more or less what I did with this blog as well. And again, I haven't been posting as much more for reasons of focus and wanting to spend more time on other things such as this YouTube channel. I actually more or less use this as a way to get people to go download some of my content. The same ebook I tell people to download on my channel is the same one I tell people to go check out on my blog. So I'm more or less just siphoning people all into my email list growth, and this has helped me substantially to get more people onto my email list. And basically what I did with this is I kind of broke down like a story about all the things that are going on. Like this was, you know, hey, it's been a year since I was let go from my job. I'm kind of talking about things I didn't like. You know, I didn't want to sit in traffic. I didn't want to manage employees. I didn't want to be in an office every day. I just wanted to do what, you know, so literally my mission and my mindset around this has not changed. And I kind of talked about this and then talked about some of the huge wins that I had, networking with people, different things that I ended up launching over the last year, and really what has been working for me and some of the things that I was doing. So I talked about a lot of the successful things, like I know at this point how I was like pulling in around $2,000 a month from course marketplaces near passively. I was working with a software developer on a new project. I was doing tons of home improvements, like I had all my floors redone on the second floor of my home. I had my driveway paved. I ended up having new paint done, redid my yard, just all these things. Like it's kind of like a way to show how I'm moving forward in life, right? So some of the best things about this was that I was able to kind of use this as a way to reflect on like what's really positive and what I'm actually accomplishing. The biggest negative of all of this is the amount of time that it really took me to put these together, and really whether or not this was something that was allowing me to continue to grow in any way, right? Someone could come in and read this and go through these posts and have a pretty good idea of like what's going on, but it didn't necessarily relate to someone coming in and being like, oh my God, I just read your income report and like, now I'm gonna go buy your course or whatever. Now, once in a while, I would have people going through some of this stuff and then going, wow, like, can I hire you for like coaching? I had other people that I even wanted to like meet up with me in person. In fact, I met up with a couple of my audience people that were following me on my email list and such. And I also use this to reflect on failures. So, you know, talking about things like shiny objects and, you know, jumping into other things, hit or miss, like losing clients, people that like were becoming unreliable that I was working with. I had a marketplace change how they like pay out. So things were just constantly changing. Failed partnership. Basically, like I ended up working with someone for 2 months and didn't make any money, and it was just like a total waste of time. So I've had a lot of these like very much up and down scenarios, and really what it's allowed me to do is grow through a lot of the failures, right? And that's kind of been my journey so far. I think in all essence, with some of this stuff, I think I probably should be a lot further ahead than I really am. But all things considered, I've still managed to stay self-employed for all of these years. And if I look back at the time that I actually lost my job back in 2016, I think at the time I had something like, $25,000 in savings, and I now have way more than double that saved up in the bank. And that's a really amazing feeling for me, given that, I've spent some time on things that I was wasting time, and in other cases did things that made me a lot of money and allowed me to continue to live the freedom lifestyle that I wanted. So the way that I broke this down is to go a little bit more in depth on how I did this is I would actually come in and basically highlight what I made income on. So here was money from TubeBuddy affiliate sales, making money on my Teachable site, posting guest posts for a company that wanted me to publish them on one of my sites, SEO clients and web design, doing coaching for other people. Here's some affiliate products, this was from Udemy, a marketplace that I was on, I'm still on, and Skillshare earnings, Stack Commerce earnings. And again, as you can see here, this alone was almost roughly, that's what would that be, so 2,500-ish in overall extra sales that I was making every single month. More than that, actually. Just a ton of extra money coming in from all three of these sources. I literally didn't have to do anything that month. This was from a YouTube video I published that over time brought me in over $1,000. So I would kind of add up all these different things, right? I had a couple Amazon affiliate sites. These would earn me around $100 to $200 a month. Course sales, this is another affiliate product that I was promoting, another course of mine, another course. Did a survey for someone and made 10 bucks. So anything literally that I did in my online business, I would actually highlight this and note what I made money from. I did a training session for a membership platform, and basically they give me $300 for that. So in this particular month, I ended up bringing in $10,295. But then I would also highlight, what are the things that I'm spending money on? I pay for a Google Drive subscription, ClickFunnels, Market Hero, SEO outsourcing. I would spend, of that $3,500, I'd spend $1,200 to have other people do the work. Logo design, domain renewals, LinkedIn, Upwork, and TubeBuddy. So overall, I ended up spending about $1,600, most of which came from SEO outsourcing, and my overall income for that particular month was $8,696.57. Now, where I've traditionally been at over the last probably couple of years since I posted any of these, again, it's now October of 2019, is I've had a pretty similar flow in some of the things I'm doing. The biggest thing with a lot of this, though, is that unfortunately, some of my marketplace earnings have actually dropped. So Udemy has dropped significantly. I used to be floating upwards on a kind of trend where it was closer to $1,000 months, and now it's been more like $500 months. Skillshare completely almost just removed almost all of my content. So that was a really big blow, and that was something I was putting a lot of time into in 2017. And now I'm probably earning anywhere from $50 to $100 a month from them. So I've almost completely washed my hands of it and just walked away from it. Stack Commerce is another one where I had a recent month where they did this promo and promoted one of my courses all over the place, and it made $6,000 in a month. But then some other months I'll only make $300 because they don't do any real active promotions. So this month it was definitely a little bit higher at the particular time, but overall this one platform I've earned well over $30,000, and it's been from existing courses that I've had on Udemy and other platforms. Affiliate income has definitely also gone down because I have not been as active trying to promote affiliate stuff. There were points where I would actually go and promote affiliate products through my email list, but I just generally found that the amount of effort I was putting in, I was making money, but it was kind of this tedious thing where I just kind of felt a little bit scummy. I didn't really feel like all the stuff that I was always promoting was ethical. Sometimes things would I'd promote the software, and then a month later they take the software off the market and they're not even selling it anymore. So again, some of this stuff was more choice. I could have been more picky about the stuff I promoted. But overall, I found that some affiliate products have stuck around. Scope Leads is one that I've consistently promoted, and the owner is someone that I know. He mentored me, and I know that I can still consistently promote that product and continue to earn income because of the fact that I'm promoting it. One of the bigger things that I focused on in 2017 and 2018 was one of my online courses called the SEO Consulting Blueprint. And I spent a lot of time trying to learn Facebook ads and understand them and run ads and get leads and get people into something through my email marketing systems that I've been building, and really move away from trying to have so much split focus. Because as you can see here, I was doing course sales, I'm doing guest publishing, I'm working with clients, I'm doing affiliate marketing. I'm basically all over the place, and I'm just getting small results from all these different little sources. So as of today, really my main focus has really only been, in terms of like business side of stuff, has really just been two things: is get people into a sales funnel to more or less get on a phone call with me and sell them a coaching offer. And as you can see here, I did like an SEO student coaching. This was from like one student. I've since raised my price on this, and I basically get people on the phone and I sell them on a high level package where I can really work with them more one-on-one. Now, beyond that, what I've found is that people enrolling in my courses and buying my programs and spending less money, they just typically wouldn't take a lot of action on the stuff that I was sharing with them. Like, I'd literally be giving them gold in essence. It's like I'm showing them the way, showing them the path of what they need to do. And I found that a lot of people weren't moving through and actually getting any results because they're just probably not committed enough. They don't have like a motivation push. They're just kind of free game going and watching videos and learning how to implement something without actually doing anything or taking action on it. So one of the reasons I decided to focus on this coaching model was because I could really work with people more one-on-one and be like, hey, like, what are you struggling with this week? I can offer accountability, you know, like really getting more personalized. I actually just had a student of mine message me on Facebook Messenger, and I will reply back to him. I'll literally hit the voice record button and I will record like a 2-minute response and tell him exactly what I think he should be doing. And now he's telling me, yeah, I have like this new client meeting. We're going to meet up and I'm going to build him a website. And it's like I can actually visually see that he's getting progress. He's really excited. He's like pushing through the boundaries. Whereas most people that would sign up for one of my other programs, even if it was priced as high as $500, like I may never even hear a word from them, and I have no idea if they're having success or not. And most likely they've got shiny object syndrome and they're probably buying a Shopify course the next week. So anyway, with that being said, one of the main focuses right now is just getting people into this coaching program. And the reason I like this is because it's a high ticket product. So if I sell even 1 or 2 of these a month, I could make $4,000, $5,000 very, very quickly. And beyond that, I do still have some lingering affiliate stuff, but that has definitely dwindled down significantly because most of the time, even through my YouTube videos, I'm not really like going and trying to promote all these new affiliate products. It's mostly just older videos that I've already done. If I do mention something like in a video, I'll probably talk about it a little bit, but generally it's not like a core focus where I'm going out there and trying to actively find like all these new affiliate products to go, you know, constantly sort of barrage my email list with, right? Now, beyond that, some of the other things that I have been making money with is still doing SEO client work. I kind of stepped up my game. Even at this time, 2 years ago, I had $3,500 in clients. Recently, like a week ago, for example, I signed a $500 a month client, a $1,250 a month client, and a $3,900 a month SEO client. Now, I have all that income coming in, but what I was able to do is similarly, I was going out and actually outsourcing some of the stuff that I do. And that's pretty much what I'm doing now is I've gone out and I've found vendors and partners where I'll take like anywhere from say like probably about a 30 to 35% commission, and it will be a recurring commission. So the clients continue to pay every month. In a lot of cases, I'm still very involved in the client communication and everything that's going on with the project. It's not like I've completely walked away. And this has worked out really, really well for me. So I've got a ton of passive income coming in and really not as much responsibility in terms of what I need to be doing. Now, we have had some clients like leave. I just had one leave that was I think it was like a $2,600 a month client, and I was getting about $600 a month from that. But of course, I now have all this other income coming in from other clients and from my coaching stuff that I don't necessarily need to spend a lot of time worried about trying to get more clients. Now, it's been one of those things where I wanted to stay somewhat involved in the client side of things, but at the same time, be able to go and help people and coach them and show them how they can go and get started doing this for their own business. So for me, really, the way the lifestyle works is that I still have probably about similar expenses. I got rid of things like LinkedIn. Some of this stuff is more like one-off. Like I do still pay for Upwork. I still pay for TubeBuddy because I use that. But really the main things is focusing on YouTube, which is a growth channel. The blog is kind of here just for whatever. It's kicks and giggles. It's the branding. And really what I'm doing is getting people to go sign up, get this guide, get on a phone call with me, sell them on a high ticket program. And that is currently my main focus. So YouTube is just a generator of really audience and growth to get people into that opportunity. And then beyond that, like I said, I do still have some of my coaching students, but beyond that, most of the income from some of these like other like miscellaneous sources, affiliate, things like that has really just kind of dwindled off. And I do still make some money from like passive income, more or less like these marketplace sites, but it's definitely gone down significantly since 2017. So anyway, the big reasons I'm no longer doing these reports is I remember specifically when I did a report like this one, it could take me literally as much as 3 hours just to do this because I had to manually go through all of my PayPal statements and figure out like, okay, how much money did I make from that program? Where did this money come from? Where did this money come from? And then add it all up and pretty much put this all together, do all the math like on a calculator to add it up, come up with the number, do all this, and then publish the post, of course, with all of this. Now, one of the things that, I do kind of miss about this, and that was a benefit really for me, was that I used it as a way to kind of reflect on what was actually going on, and I had a better idea of actually how much I was making versus what I was spending and what I'm taking in over the course of the year. I could see like whether or not I was growing, like you could see in here, going from generally 2016 to 2017, I started to have much better months. Now, like in May, things were kind of down a bit, but overall, like there was only 1 month where I guess technically 2 months in 2016 where I made over $10,000. And it was probably actually about the same in 2017, but I don't remember for the remainder of the year. It was one of those things where I really just wanted to have some way of kind of reflecting on what's going on. Now, at some point, I may start this back up again. Maybe, leave a comment below if you think I should start this back up in 2020. Maybe it's something I'd consider doing, but overall, I'm probably seeing similar months. Generally, I'm ranging anywhere from about $5,000 to $10,000 a month. But you know what? I've been working a hell of a lot less, and I'm pretty happy with where I am overall. It's just something where I've tried to get a lot more focused on the things I'm spending time on, and I know if I can scale up my coaching side of things, I could probably double that to $20,000 or if not $30,000 a month and probably be putting in way less effort than when I was doing like small one-off affiliate promotions or doing course marketplaces and some of these other things that just really don't bring in a ton of extra income. So anyway, if you guys enjoyed this video, again, as I talked about, right now my main focus is to help people one-on-one. I've got an 8-week program where I'm really walking people through how I've gone out, and basically I've got pretty much a good chunk of my income right now coming in from client stuff where I've really outsourced all the work and I don't have to deal with any of that. So if you want to learn more about how you can go out there, like basically master the game of sales, relationships, go and close some big ticket deals like $4,000 clients every month, then book a call with me. Let's chat, see if it's something I can help you with, and I look forward to chatting with you over a call. Again, thanks for watching this video. Be sure to subscribe, and I will see you in the next video.